After fans of My £600 Life called Lacey Buckingham the most manipulative patient ever to feature on the show, I watched her episode and was completely disgusted by what I saw. From forcing her boyfriend to do anything she wanted, filming herself online for horny men to watch, and so much worse, it's easy to see why she's earned the title and is among the most hated stars of the show. Not only though does she have a disgusting attitude towards those around her, her attitude towards weight loss was just as bad. Lacey Buckingham lives in constant pain. There's no part of her body that doesn't hurt, and she never feels clean, which is probably because she has to use wet wipes to bathe herself, because having a shower is so strenuous, she can only manage them twice a week. Growing up, Lacey felt like the unwanted child, jealous of her skinny and popular sister, and ignored by her parents as they favoured her younger brother. Lacey felt like she was adopted. She struggled with weight from this young age, but it all started to spiral out of control when she turned 26 and became friends with a group of people involved in feederism. Now, feederism means exactly what you'd imagine. It's a fetish involving the sexual arousal experienced by feeders and feedees, which is Lacey in this case if you didn't realise, and it's related to the act of feeding and gaining weight. Young women are most commonly the feedees, paid large amounts of money by men to eat large amounts of food, and if you look at Lacey's size, she was definitely a big earner. It was easy to find men to pay her, as Lacey was already lacking emotional support in her personal life and was desperate for a connection, even by strangers on the internet who didn't care that they were exploiting her. All Lacey had to do was film herself eating, and the dollars would just roll in. The feeder-feedee dynamic developed beyond the screen for Lacey, as she developed a romantic relationship with 3 men who were solely interested in feeding her. Things are supposed to be different with her current boyfriend Ricky, and Lacey is glad to have found someone who looks after her, but viewers can't be so sure of this. Their relationship is confusing, as after only such a short time of knowing her, Lacey's boyfriend is more than happy to take part in her hygiene routine, cleaning her with wet wipes and even wiping after Lacey's been to the toilet. Now, this might be a controversial take, as many other of the £600 Life stars don't need help doing this, and there's tools invented for this very reason. There's one on Amazon for less than $10, so this begs the question, does Ricky just enjoy doing this for Lacey? And also, shouldn't this be a wake-up call for Lacey when she literally can't wipe herself clean? Ricky plays a part of more than just a boyfriend to Lacey too, as he's her caregiver, cleaner, and personal chef. Some viewers speculate the likelihood of Ricky even liking Lacey, or whether he's just into bigger girls. What are the chances that Ricky is willing to get into a relationship with someone like Lacey if this isn't a fetish for him? Especially considering that Lacey isn't able to dote on him the way that he is for her. Come mealtime, Ricky is more than happy to serve Lacey whatever her hungry heart desires, not considering the health factors in any of the food he makes for her.
So, Lacey asked me to come to the bathroom, and sometimes I do help her wipe herself. It doesn't bother me because I love her a lot, and I really like to keep Lacey happy.
My greatest love in life is food. I absolutely love food. Make sure you put butter in the skillet for the bacon.
That's fine.
Lacey clearly isn't as focused on the relationship as Ricky is, which is noticeable to viewers, as one commenter writes, "My biggest love in life is food. Boyfriend, I'm standing right here." Lacey even prefers food over sex with him.
I consider myself a bad food addict. Like it's a IV pump into my arm. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no greater pleasure in this world than eating food. It's a more pleasure button for me than sex.
Food is Lacey's entire world. She puts it before her health, lifestyle, and now even her boyfriend. And it makes you wonder, what else will she choose food over? On a trip to the supermarket, Lacey makes a painful journey through the aisles to be closer to food. We can really see Ricky's feeder-feedee dynamic here at play, as Ricky is happy to give in to Lacey's unhealthy food demands. He even agrees with her when she suggests that a bottle of Hershey's chocolate syrup is good for her. He's incredibly accepting of her physical limitations of her weight too, as he's He's happy to let Lacy have a moment to rest when walking becomes too much. So Ricky might just be another feeder, so let's unpack that. Ricky's sister Sharon describes him as being a vulnerable, sheltered, and possibly autistic young man. In his past, Sharon has had to intervene in his previous relationships as other girlfriends have taken advantage of Ricky's vulnerability. Perhaps he's selfless and kind, and unfortunately not able to understand that he's being used by Lacy. There are several instances where Lacy is abusive to Ricky, shouting at him in public, making demeaning comments to him, and even ordering him around like he was a slave.
Don't forget my chocolate.
Definitely, babe. I won't forget chocolate.
On the road trip to Houston, Sharon drives the couple as neither are able to drive. Tensions rise as Lacy describes her really good breakfast of zebra cakes and cheese puffs, an ironic combination considering she's on her way to enroll in Dr. Now's weight loss program. Sharon explodes, calling Lacy out for her selfish behavior.
Had a really nice breakfast, zebra cakes and cheese puffs and coffee.
You need to work on losing weight, and you gotta motivate yourself. And no one's gonna hand you, because nothing in this world's free, and people have people have themselves to worry about before they worry about other people. It can be hard though. I'm gonna let you know.
Really hard.
As long as you stay dedicated and motivated on what you want to do, you'll get it done.
She interrogates Lacy, desperate to know how she and Ricky can say they're in love when they've known each other for less than a month. Ricky is vulnerable and gullible, so Sharon is concerned that Lacy is only using him as her personal caretaker because he's too kind and possibly autistic to understand this.
So with his girlfriends, I gotta step in and put him through the ringer to see if they're gonna actually be there for him or if they're just using him.
As you can see, this road trip is a complete disaster, with Lacy and Sharon at each other's throats. Tensions escalate quickly as the journey stops suddenly as Lacy has a bathroom emergency.
I need to stop at a drug stop to get some things. Yeah, the next stop I gotta stop. Oh god.
On the highway, like right here?
Yeah, there's a gas station up there. Oh man, I'm getting sick. I have to go number 2. Oh, shark.
What in the is wrong with you?
Oh, I gotta get fast. And new pants.
So,
New pants! New pants!
oh God, no! She pooped herself and she was just taking a fart, you know, like anybody does, and well, it wasn't a fart. And so I think she needs to get off the fast food for a little while.
Despite this grim situation, Ricky's attitude is hilarious.
Sharon, it's just, it's a fart. You take a wet fart, it happens.
Really though?
If you thought things couldn't get any worse, then you would have guessed wrong. As if toilet paper isn't enough for Lacy, she calls Sharon and asks for a diaper.
I'm trying to get it inside the kitchen.
I just need Ricky to bring me a diaper.
Girl, ooh-wee. Ooh, bro.
With the fast food coming out of both ends, this should be a wake-up call for Lacy that her body can't take any more of the food and is just rejecting it. Even Ricky seems to think so. Unlike the family of the other stars of the show who enable them, Sharon says exactly what the viewers are thinking and can't comprehend that Lacy lives like this, hating that she's bringing her Ricky down with her.
I think they like each other a lot. I think they do like each other, but it's not love. We all know it is not love. I think it's more like she needs somebody to take care of her, and my brother just automatically just jumps in and does it because that's what he does.
The journey from Lacy's hometown of Washington to Houston takes a staggering 2,300 miles, a 5-day trip in the car for Lacy. The long road to weight loss reveals itself for Lacy as she steps on the scales and weighs 593 pounds of junk food and bad decisions. Under Dr. Now's advice, Lacy must drop her calories to just 1,200 and exercise daily to ensure she loses at least 50 pounds in the next 2 months, as her health is declining rapidly. Lacy takes over 30 medications every single day as a direct result of the weight-related health conditions. As Lacy lives so far north from Houston, Dr. Now advises Lacy that if she is successful in her 50-pound weight loss, she will need to move to Houston to continue the treatment. Surely, this should be a wake-up call for Lacy after discovering her weight and health conditions, but time will tell. Dr. Now sees the same Lacy that we do, someone who doesn't really care what happens to her and isn't very motivated.
And see if we can get you going in the right direction. All right, I'll bring it to you.
Thank you.
I got you, baby. I promise. It'd be a lot easier to have help than to be by yourself.
My biggest concern with Lacey is that she doesn't seem like she's ready to take responsibility for herself on any level. And if that doesn't change, then she's likely not going to make much progress to effectively turn her life around.
For Lacy, she doesn't have to look after herself, cook, clean, or take responsibility for her behaviour, as this all falls on Ricky. A common trope within the series is that the stars themselves rarely have to put in any work, besides eating the food that's given to them. Ricky is Lacy's complete provider, making him responsible for Lacy's weight loss, as he is the person who goes to the supermarket, picks the food, and prepares it for Lacy. Honestly, this is just completely unfair, as like the vast majority of stars of the show, Ricky is subject to Lacy's wishes and can't stand up to her in fear of her lashing out. Seeming to have a better love life than a lot of people, Ricky promises to Lacy, despite being together for less than a month. The pair are ecstatic, which is quite frustrating, considering we all believe that Lacy is just completely taking advantage of Ricky, and he's just further committed himself to her. I think this alone definitely justifies the claims that Ricky is very vulnerable, as it's not normal to propose after just 1 month, but at least he has his sister Sharon to look after him. But that might not be enough to keep Ricky from being used by Lacy, as he is the only way Lacy can reach success. He takes Dr. Now's advice on board, making healthier meals and exercising.
We're about to kick up.
And Ricky's been helping me do my exercises, and I'm thankful because I don't think I'd be able to do much on my own without his help. So it makes me feel very loved and cared for when he supports me like this.
Watching the way the couple interact highlights just how unaware Ricky is, and how he may not even understand that the feelings they share for each other isn't love. Ricky understands that Lacy needs him, but not in the way that he wants. Lacy needs Ricky as a carer, not as a lover. There doesn't seem to be any give or take between them, only Lacy demanding for Ricky to give. So far on the show, we haven't seen Lacy do anything kind for Ricky at all, which makes you think, what kind of relationship have they got? 4 months later, at her weigh-in, Lacy finds that she's only lost 16 pounds when she should have lost 50. This isn't a great start for Lacy, but not entirely surprising considering that she doesn't seem to care at all. In Shaun of Steel's reaction video, he questions whether Lacy even lost any weight at all.
At the hospital the other day, I just went in there to get weighed. I weighed 577. I lost 16 pounds, and he wanted me to lose 50. So
16 pounds is something, but he said 50 in 2 months, correct? But I think you're, what, 4 months out and you've lost 16? That just ain't cutting it, sweetheart. Like, honest to God, you can dehydrate yourself and lose that. And right now, when you weighed in with him before, your legs were swollen from the car ride, so your legs are significantly less swollen right now. That's probably the 16 pounds right there.
If what Shaun says is true, then that would make Lacy's attempt so far a complete failure, as she's had double the amount of time that Dr. Now gave her and still couldn't lose the 50 pounds. When you're as overweight as Lacy is, dropping a significant amount of weight will come off quickly when eating on such a big deficit, which makes it obvious that she wasn't sticking to the diet. Despite the setback, Lacy still seems determined to lose weight, finalizing their plans to relocate to Houston to continue their treatment. As you'd expect from Lacy's previous road trip with Sharon, a combination of car trouble and exhaustion has set the group to fall behind schedule, sending tempers flaring. Sharon doesn't hold back, screaming at Lacy for her bad decisions and her disgusting attitude.
You're not taking it serious. What happens after that? Have you ever thought about that?
we talked about it.
Talked about what?
I already talked about it.
Oh my, what is wrong with you? Sometimes you're just so ugly.
It's hard for Lacy to sit there and take the abuse from Sharon, as she's always used to getting her way. Instead of arguing back and defending herself, Lacy just says no comment and doesn't look back at Sharon, as if she's being interviewed by the police. This doesn't last long, as Lacy and Sharon begin screaming, hurling abuse and insults at each other.
They only gave me one cracker.
They didn't have any chili Fritos.
And they only gave her one cracker to go in a chili. It's okay.
I'm really missing chili with a lot of onions. I've loved chili since I was little.
Yeah, but what are you gonna tell this doctor, man? What if this doctor says, you know what, I'm not around? I don't get
No
you.
comment.
Good, don't comment. I don't even care.
I need a little minute to myself.
Man, grow the up. You 36 years old and you disgracing.
Sharon, can you grow up and stop picking on Stop picking on me all the time.
I ain't picking on you.
You're not perfect either.
I ain't perfect. Said I was perfect. Not one time did I say I was perfect.
You call me fat.
You are.
You are too.
It's completely understandable why Sharon is frustrated, as you would probably be too, as she's giving up her time and money to take Lacy and Ricky down to Houston, with even a trailer in tow. All Lacy has to do is sit there, but she can't help herself from complaining. With the risk of arriving late, or even completely missing her appointment with Dr. Now, Lacy reveals that she also missed her previous appointment with him. In probably the most drawn out explanation ever, it takes Lacy about 2 minutes to form a coherent sentence.
You mean to tell me you were supposed to go see the doctor then? You were just around. You know what? All the information I get and everything that I hear just pisses me off, Lacy, because you are such he's lying. This is the second appointment she missed. I just found this out. I've been helping her out, helping her sell out things, helping her get money. Air tickets are cheap as right now. Cheap as every day this week. This is done. It pissed me off. If she lies one more time, I swear to God, I'm gonna karate chop her. I don't even want to drive down there no more. Y'all could have been down there a long time ago. Oh, we can't do it because of this. No, you know what? You could have did it. You could have got off your big, and you could have did it.
The reason for Lacy missing her last appointment was supposedly because flights were too expensive and driving was easier, but more unreliable because it takes about 5 days to travel. Obviously, this episode was filmed several years ago, so prices will have changed, but looking at some flights, the cheapest I've found were about $75 both ways. Surely, if Lacy skipped a few takeaways, she would probably be able to afford a plane ticket, rather than having Sharon drive her for 5 days. Now, if the abuse from Sharon wasn't enough, Ricky starts to realize what Lacy has been doing to him and doesn't hold back. He has given everything for her, hoping it will help and she will lose the weight, only for him to realize that she's never truly cared and made zero effort. Ricky breaks up with Lacy while driving down to Houston, and tensions reach an all-time high as Stacy pulls into a gas station. Now, officially at this point, everyone had lost the plot. Sharon is threatening to kill Lacy, Ricky has ran away, and Lacy calls 911.
Stupid. I'm gonna kill you in your sleep every which way around.
I don't even feel safe being around Sharon any longer, and I have to do something. Hi, my name's Lacey Buckingham. I'm at this gas station, and I'm from Washington State, and the driver, Sharon Gilmore, and my ex-fiance, Ricky, are driving me to Pasadena, Texas. I'm scared because I'm going to be dropped off in this parking lot. I am disabled. I have, a 6x12 trailer, and I'm just not sure what I'm doing right now.
Just so I can get everything straight.
Yes.
We'll go back over things. So he was your boyfriend.
Yes.
Apparently, did he just broke up with you just a few minutes ago?
Well, yeah,
prior to
basically the
call?
Sharon, his sister,
Is that Sharon that's
Yeah,
in the car?
she's the-
So it's his sister?
Yeah,
Okay.
she says she's power of attorney.
Okay.
I'm in trouble, sir.
Why?
It's worth mentioning too that Lacy only starts to get emotional when she's the one in trouble, at risk of being stranded in the middle of nowhere with just her trailer. She doesn't cry when Ricky gets upset, or even when Sharon is calling her a liar, probably because she knows she is one. The police officers decide to let Ricky and Sharon leave, even though Lacy tried to get Ricky arrested for some reason, and help Lacy find somewhere to stay for the night. If the police weren't enough, an ambulance arrives for Lacy too. Despite being taken into the hospital, there was actually nothing wrong with Lacy, and she was sent away the same day. Lacy's relationship with Ricky is completely over, as the pair call it quits in a service station.
RJ, don't cry. That
As for the trailer, Ricky and Sharon donated Lacy's belongings to charity, which is probably deserved. With some luck and the help of a friend, Lacy hitches a ride and makes it the rest of the way to Houston to see Dr. Now. Back on the scales, Lacy's goal was to lose 50 pounds. Originally at 593 pounds, she weighs 581 now, only a 12 pound loss in the 4 months since her first appointment with the doctor. But to be honest, that isn't the worst thing going on in Lacy's life right now. She has nowhere to live as her apartment in Texas fell through, making her literally homeless. Even if she was able to find an apartment, all her furniture and belongings had obviously been donated to charity. Even Dr. Now realizes that Lacy had a myriad of domestic problems that she needs to tackle before she even needs to think about her weight loss, especially as that would require surgery and she would need outside support to help her recover properly. Dr. Now advises that Lacy needs to sort out her personal problems and lose 50 pounds before he will even think about allowing her back on the weight loss program. As this episode draws to a close, Lacy realizes how her behavior has ruined any chance of her losing weight. Her abuse toward Ricky, the only person who really wanted to help her, resulted in their breakup. As she has no one to help her get to Houston, Lacy doesn't think that there's any way she can get back on the program, so she doesn't really see any point in trying to lose weight at all. Lacy has been consistently negative throughout her entire episode, expecting everyone to look after her and take care of her every need, especially Ricky, who luckily got away from her before they got married. Lacy placed all her eggs in one basket, moving to Houston before she'd even lost the initial 50 pounds, and before her apartment was even available. If someone won't lose the weight for Lacy, she definitely won't be doing it anytime soon. Now, although Lacy was the most manipulative, she wasn't the laziest, as I give that title to Penny Sagar. And if you want to see a full breakdown of the laziest star ever on My 600 Pound Life, make sure you click the video that's on your screen now, and I'll see you in the next one.
And so highly recommend you go and follow Big Craig, 31,000 followers.